Hey, what's going on there, A-pushers? Okay, so a couple people have raised questions about contextualization statements. So I just wanted to do this little video, just kind of hopefully explain it a little bit better, okay? All right, so first off, okay, what are contextualization statements and what are they not? Okay, all that it is, and this is the big thing that if you're stressing out over contextualization statements, all right, okay, please don't. It's really not as serious or as difficult as you think it is, okay? It's a lot simpler, all right? So what it is it's just intended to be a brief summary of broad historical trends, okay? So what we're looking for is like, what are the big picture movements that history has been taking, all right, during the time that the essay that you are answering is asking you, okay? So all it needs to be is 2 to 3 sentences. A lot of you guys are writing these really awesome, incredibly detailed, okay, contextualization statements, but that's really not what I'm looking for. Okay, all I'm looking for is 2 to 3 sentences. What are the big trends that have been going on in this time period? Okay, and what is it not? Okay, it's not your argument. Okay, so you're gonna have your thesis is in your introduction. That is your argument. That's very specific and that's gonna be very pointed. And you guys are already doing a great job writing those. However, okay, the contextualization statement, all of that's doing is taking your argument and saying, where does this argument fit in the broader historical context? Okay, you're setting the table, okay, so that I can understand your argument better. You're just telling me what's going on in history around this time, all right? It's not supposed to be loaded down with like terms, okay? That's not what I am intending it to be, all right? So you don't need to like, instead of like talking about like the Stamp Act, the Sugar Act, Navigation Acts, okay? Instead, you can just say mercantilistic policies, all right? Instead of talking about like, the first, second, and third Powhatan Wars, Pontiac's Rebellion. You can say conflicts with Native Americans. Okay, so you see what I'm doing there? We're not doing the specific. Okay, we're not doing like here. We're doing here. Big picture. Okay, big picture stuff. Okay, so it's not as hard as you think. Okay, so I want to do an example. Okay, so I've got this one. This is evaluate the 7 Years' War. Okay, French and Indian War, 1754-1763, marked a turning point in American relations with Great Britain. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to think of is I'm going to try to think of like what are the big things that we need to understand about the French and Indian War. Okay, all right. So since I'm going to be talking about a turning point, I for sure want to talk about the concept of salutary neglect. Okay, salutary neglect because that's going to be a huge part of my argument. I'm going to talk about Western expansion because again, that's one of the things that causes the French and Indian Revolution. And I am going to talk about relationships between Great Britain and the United States. Okay, so just broadly speaking, all right, and this is without my thesis. This is just the contextualization statement. I'm going to write from the first arrival of colonists on the shores of what would one day be America. The drive has been towards independence and moving westward. The drive to independence was stoked by the policy of salutary neglect during the British Civil War and the push to extend westward continually fueled conflict with Native Americans. Boom. Hey, that's all I'm looking for. Okay, guys. So if you were to write these 2 sentences before you write your thesis or right after you write your thesis, okay, I'm going to give you points for your contextualization statement because you've made an attempt to take this question and put it into a broader historical context. Okay, so the big thing that I'm going to leave you with is try not to overthink it. Okay, it is not as difficult as you think it is. Okay, it's something that does take practice, but practice we will. All right. If you do have questions, if anything comes up, please feel free to email me, make another appointment so that we can meet and talk about it. But I believe in you guys. You got this.